All right, let's talk about making meditation easy. For some reason, I get so many clients that come in here to my clinic, or that are friends I talk to, that meditation comes up, and they're just like, "But don't you have to be a monk?" And man, that's too difficult. Or my mind just can't calm down. I can't do that. Well, because you haven't been given, in my opinion, the right advice, or given it a chance yet. So let's talk about some really simple, easy ways to help start this practice of meditation, which is absolutely life-changing once you kind of get it down a little bit. Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Jason McCammon, board certified naturopathic doctor. Again, chatting about meditation today. Let's get into it. So what's the whole point of meditation or meditative practice? To create inner peace. That's it. It's not that complicated. That's it. We want to create a sense of inner peace. So much of our ailments, our health challenges, our illnesses, our conventional diseases that we're diagnosed with, this has been proven many, many times in many studies. It's so much mental health based. I know, you're like, what? But yeah, my stomach, but my knee, I know, guys, I know. But still, yes, there's been so many studies on this, okay? This David Hawkins, he's a physician and a psychiatrist, written some amazing books. One's called Letting Go, I highly recommend. But he, again, conventionally trained physician, but what he found over his whole career as he helped patients and helped himself was that almost all ailments start in the mind. Certainly are there physical manifestations that we have to take care of, absolutely, but they start up here, okay? We've got to work on what's going on upstairs if we want to help the rest of our body. So anyway, creating inner peace is huge. The problem is with most people, especially as the more years are going here and more going on with social media and all the stuff that's happened with COVID and everything. It's just there's so much chaos in our mind, so many in our inner voice, so many distractions, just so much going on with life. We're overwhelmed. Our ancestors never had to deal with even a fraction of this stuff. So I think I think we have it a little harder in terms of trying to calm our brain down. By the way, that's what they would do with Native American dances, with the drums and the sweat lodges and all that. That was the whole point of all that, guys, was creating meditative environments to help them get inner peace. That's what that was for. So we're gonna have to work a little harder because it doesn't come so much naturally to our culture here. Okay, so let's talk about a few things real quick. Some of the sciencey stuff. Your brain waves, the major brain waves, okay, and there's of course different frequencies within each one. It's going to be beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Okay, beta is our conscious mind, everyday task, at work or shopping or talking this and that. But what happens is with the beta being in there and not being able to control it, the higher the beta frequency goes, the more anxiety we start to feel. So most people that are dealing with anxiety have massive levels of beta waves through their brain. We've got to calm that down. Okay, that's why we do meditation. Alpha is a relaxed state, literally by just sitting still, taking a deep breath, just doing something that is kind of chill, that can get you an alpha pretty quickly. Actually, I think you can find alpha rapidly with just a few techniques and getting used to it. So that's one of our goals for meditation. Theta that's where we want to be, though. Theta is incredible. That is actually that really what they call getting very self-aware and conscious and starting to connect with the universe and all that cool whimsical stuff you might have heard about. That's theta. Theta is almost a dream state. You're conscious, but yet it's almost out of body. You know what I mean? Like you don't realize you're not necessarily in your body. You're not necessarily in your house. You're kind of floating a little bit, and theta is amazing. And by the way, this is a really interesting tidbit. Up to the years about 6 or 7 with kids, guess what? They live in theta in their brain. So when they come to you and they're making up stuff and their imagination is going crazy, guess what? They can't decipher necessarily that thing they made up, that imaginative thing, their imagination thing they came up with versus reality. So we got to be careful with them, right? We don't want to just dismiss it really quickly when it comes to children. We've got to acknowledge, like, oh, that's really cool, that story, that character they created, whatever. Up to about age 7 or so, they're in that theta state most of the time, even when they're waking. Okay. Obviously they, snap out of it when you're doing very cognitive tasks like schoolwork and things like that. But the second they're distracted again, or not distracted, I should say, they go back to theta. So keep that in mind. Delta is where we need to sleep. That's deep sleep. You probably heard of people talk about delta before. Delta sleep. You may be wearing a Fitbit or some kind of watch that you're tracking. All right. Hey, last night, how much delta sleep did I get? And you're like checking it out. And delta is incredible. and that's obviously fully unconscious. And we actually use meditation, mindfulness, and things to calm the brain to solve problems in our subconscious. Guess what? Delta sleep becomes much more restful. Why is that? Because in Delta, when we're unconscious and we're just laying there, paralytic, just like being under anesthesia, whatever your subconscious is programmed with, it's going to come back during that time, and it's going to visit you again, even though you're unconscious. Okay, you're sleeping. So keep in mind that you can impact Delta sleep by getting better at beta, alpha, and theta. Okay, let's talk about some types of meditation. The first one I like to call it, my little kind of key term here is called naked mindfulness. What does that mean? You're just literally using just yourself. Okay, that's ideal to be able to do that. You can do something as simple as just sitting in a comfortable position, laying or sitting, closing your eyes. That's important. You got to cut off like visual distraction. And then breath work. I can't emphasize this enough, guys. You got to do breath work. You got to learn breath work. And the idea is that you keep your shoulders down out of your ears, and we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, out for 8 seconds. It's really important we try to get to that 4 to 8 ratio. You can certainly breathe out longer than that, but research has shown a long exhalation when we're breathing out over 8, 10, 12 seconds. It really ramps our brain waves down big time. We get into alpha, maybe even to theta, once you practice this a lot, okay? So naked mindfulness anywhere on the planet, plane, car, at home. You could be, I've literally done this, in a noisy gym. I've done this at, maybe a sporting event with noise around. You can actually close your eyes and breathe, and you can actually get into at least an alpha state of calm. It's really cool. I especially recommend that for times of acute stress, like you just got handed something on your plate. If it's not a medical emergency, take a second and just close your eyes and breathe, then handle it. I'm telling you, you're going to do a lot better. The next one I want to talk about is mindfulness using an assistant. That's usually going to be a little more successful for you if you're a rookie to this. You've never really done it before. You need a little help because we're in beta mode. Our conscious mind is so crammed full of stuff and voices and thoughts and deadlines and what about that and what about this. Okay, so I suggest looking into some music. Now, most people would think ambient, or soft music. Totally down with that, jazz or whatever. I listen to that all the time in the office here. But believe it or not, if you actually like hard rock or metal, that's okay too. Why? Research has shown that as long as you like the music and as long as it's calming to you, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be orchestra, it can be Metallica. Honestly, it doesn't matter. If it calms you and you feel a sense of peace from it, then go ahead with it. Go with it. It doesn't have to necessarily be calming to everyone else. Okay. But now if that music riles you up and you're ready to go, put up some numbers on the bench press or go run your best 5K, we need to back away from that music and bring that back when we're ready to train. We need to calm right now, okay? So most of the time it's going to be probably calming music that's a little bit more chill. Again, I like lo-fi beats. If you have Spotify, look up lo-fi beats, man. It's really great stuff. Scent is big with a little, essential oils, lavender especially, frankincense, some of those. Peppermint's amazing, but peppermint kind of jacks us up a little bit, right? Eucalyptus is uplifting. Those are great for when you want to focus. We want to calm. So let's use something a little bit more chill. And then water or hydrotherapy, if you're able to get in a shower or bathe or even stick your feet, in a babbling brook or whatever you've got near you, a body of water is great. So anyway, using mindfulness as an assistant to get into mindfulness can be very helpful to distract our brain. Because again, music, scent, or water, or all three can really help you get into that alpha state. Okay, and then when we have that, again, music, scent, or water, or all three, then what do we do then? We close our eyes and we breathe. That's it. You can do that, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't have to do it for an hour. It's okay to do short bouts of this, man. You're going to get benefit no matter what. Another type of meditation, a little bit more structured here. It is outstanding, though. It's been shown to tremendously help PTSD, especially with veterans. But again, remember, if it works for veterans that have been through war and seen the horrors of war, it can probably benefit the rest of us, right? They probably haven't seen that necessarily. So it's called loving kindness meditation, and it's so successful that the doctor that really made this popular, they used that structure in studies to study the benefits of meditation. It's incredible. So loving kindness, you can look it up for yourself, check it out if it resonates with you. But it's 3 basic elements. It's number 1, you get into, again, your nice closed eye position in your breathing, right? Again, you can use assistance if you need to. But then you're going to then really give gratitude toward someone in your life that did something really great for you. So the idea is to experience that, relive it, smile and really wow, that person was amazing. And whether they're a family member or a friend, doesn't matter. Just relive that experience of them, helping you out in whatever way that just comes to you at that moment. What that does is sends all this oxytocin, all these cool feel-good chemicals to your body, and that really lowers stress tremendously, okay? Step two of loving kindness is to think of someone you don't know, someone who may be a stranger, maybe just a colleague that you don't know very well, and send them good thoughts. Okay, you're gonna meditate, you're gonna pray on this, and send them good thoughts. Hope, wish them well, and really say, you know what, I really hope this person who I don't know, is able to get through X, Y, or Z, whatever. Again, you have to go intuitively with this. Okay, and then the third step is going to be what's most challenging. And this is what really, though, makes a big difference in helping you let go and find inner peace. And that's sending love and kindness to someone who has hurt you. And it's very difficult to do this, but I'm telling you, it's healing. I've done this before many times. In fact, it's helped me heal tremendously. You've got to think of someone, recent history, past, doesn't matter, or current kind of bout you're dealing with this person. You've got to send them love and kindness. I know it's difficult, but it's a part of healing, okay? That's loving kindness meditation. Physical meditation, believe it or not, some people get into alpha levels, probably not theta, but at least get in alpha with if they love to run. If you ever met somebody that just cannot stay off the road, that just loves it, they hopefully they're not, they don't have any kind of eating disorder or body dysmorphia, but that's probably because that's where their alpha's at. That's where they really can chill. They're out on the road, and that kind of drone of their cadence of running, right? That rhythmic, that's a beat in their mind, right? That beat is probably alpha. It could even be, again, a little theta. They almost get into a trend-like state, or a trance-like state, okay? Cyclists sometimes can do this, and it could be in any sport. I'm just giving you some examples, but you could create that by going for a walk, right? And just getting that cadence of your feet hitting the pavement or the trail out in the woods, whatever. But physical movement can be a meditation. You don't always have to sit still. In fact, if you're someone that's more prone to being fidgety, more prone to anxiety, move. Don't sit still. Right? For God's sake, okay? Because why? When you have a lot of anxiety, you tend to have stress hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, etc. Those have to be burned up and metabolized. How do you do that? You work your muscles, okay? So get up and move if physical meditation works for you. But remember, we're still going for peace, though. We're still going for alpha state. So that means we still got to breathe and work on being calm, but you may need some music and things like that. And the last one, of course, there's lots of ways to do this, but guided meditation, okay? That's, YouTube's probably a great place to check this out. Look up guided meditation, pick a guru that works for you, that resonates with you. Just go with your gut. Don't overthink it. But guided meditation is someone who actually walks you through how to calm down, how to breathe, how to set your body. That can be really helpful, especially if you're a rookie to this. In fact, maybe even try that one first if you're not sure about this whole process. And I want to leave you with an incredible book that's really helped change my life and just helped so many of my clients create breakthroughs, rather. And it is going to be Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. He has an incredible story. I'll just tell you real quick that he grew up in an affluent household in London and was expected to do, law school, med school, whatever, be really successful in eyes of his parents. And he went to the ashram, which is basically a monastery for monks over in India, and slept on a dirt floor for 3 years, okay? So incredible to go from this high society to the most humble that you can be as a monk. Incredible perspective. I highly recommend him because you're going to get, practical stuff for everyday life, because he obviously knows we can't all just go live in an ashram on a dirt floor and just forget life. That's just not realistic, but can we learn from that? Absolutely. So highly recommend this book. It's awesome. Plus it gives you little exercises as you go, so you're not having to get to the end and say, well, how do I apply that to me? You can learn as you go with that and apply as you go. He also has some great stuff on social media I'd recommend. So, all right, so let's work on finding some piece of this that works for you. Again, go by your gut, be intuitive, and do what feels right, but do something. You've got to start some kind of meditation or meditation and mindfulness practice if you want to find inner peace, okay? And check out my website, drjasonnd.com, for a free ebook about creating a vital health breakthrough for yourself, okay? A lot of great information over there. Tell me about what you think about it, and good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.